guys, so here we are in booth 2939, ShotShow 2020, and with Marisa Bishop of Bishop Ammunition and Rifles. If you are anything like me and you like a lever action rifle, then you probably want to go one more and have a big bore lever action rifle. And out of the ones that are on the market right now, Marisa Bishop has probably got the king of the mountain. So Marisa, tell us a little bit about what we got going on over here.
What I have going on, this is the production version of the 458 SOCOM lever action rifle. We start with the standard Marlin 1895 GBL. You like it because of the big loop and what they do for it for cowboy action shooters. When I receive the rifle, I strip it completely down and send the receiver and barrel up for a barrel maker. And they go ahead and remill the ejection port so it'll eject 458 SOCOM. And they mount our design of 458 SOCOM barrel on the Marlin. And when it comes back, I hand polish each of the parts without removing metal, just deburring it, making everything move as smoothly as possible. And then we install our own bolt that I designed for 458 SOCOM, taking it from uncontrolled feed to controlled feed action.
You're talking about a really large case. Michael, could you hand me one of those cases?
The box right there.
Right. Just to give you a little bit of perspective as to what some of these rounds look like. Two pieces here.
Now, this is a 400 grain spear flat point that we make. This gets 1,700 feet per second out of a lever gun. This will hold 7 of those. Now, what I've also done is we install a happy trigger in here, which gives us a very crisp 3 to 3.5 pound pull. You don't have any of the Marlin creep. It's either on or off.
Yeah, you have to actually feel what this trigger feels like. I mean, I have my lever action guns are all tuned for cowboy shooting, and I cycled this thing and I ran it, and it was
just like a cowboy action gun.
Yeah, and when you're talking about a big bore cartridge, 350 grain is what we're looking at these.
Yeah.
You guys see my 500 Magnum videos. I shoot 350 out of that thing just for blinking. Stick one of these in one of this where you got that much more barrel on it, you're developing that much more of a chamber pressure. You're talking about a round that's moving and is going to do some really serious impact.
There's another innovation that we did for you though. On this rifle, I won't tell on video how it's done, but I tell it to the owners of the gun. This rifle will handle, and I guarantee it will shoot anywhere between 1.94 inches to 2.25 inches. So you can shoot the 250 grain up to the 600 grain subsonic Colossus out of this rifle. It takes you 15 minutes to change the length of the cartridge using my system. It took me a year to develop it. The other thing I've done for this rifle is Marlins in 4570 inherently will want to lock up if you have the rifle at an angle or flat on its side. At Industry Day on Monday, I was loading the rounds into the gun, and then I was loading it flat on the table. And instead of handing it to the shooter as horizontal, I would lever the gun and chamber the rifle with it laying flat on its side in 458 SOCOM. You can't do that with a 4570.
Now, how is that this round compare to the 4570? 4570 is a lobbing kind of round. It's so this is going to have that same trajectory, flight path kind of thing, but you're going to be moving at a higher velocity?
Correct.
Right, so it's going to be a little flat.
Yeah, 405 grain 4570 standard load is going to be pushing out about 1,400 to 1,500 feet per second. You can load it higher if you get up into the 1,800 foot per second range that you can load the 450 at. You're going to start getting leaded barrels. So you would have to gas check it. There are a lot more problems. The thing that you receive on this is this will load anywhere between 8 to 7 rounds depending on cartridge length. Plus,
a little bit more
you get better ballistics, you get a faster bullet. This is not a long-range rifle, no lever action is. This rifle will be lethal on deer at 300 yards. It comes with the access sight system already installed.
And we got a pick rail up on the top, which is nice. We've got compensator up in the front.
Now this recoil reducer, the muzzle brake, this makes the recoil on this feel like a 30-30. It's not that harsh. It literally feels like a 30-30.
Now, we're going on about the lever action rifles because I'm a huge lever action rifle fan, but I'm also a pretty big fan of AR-based rifles, and I understand that there's an AR-475 GAR that you guys have. All right, Michael, could you please hand us that one on the top? I think you guys are really going to like this.
This is the round.
And can I have one of the cartridges? Okay.
All right. How do you guys like a big bore AR? This is about as big as it's going to get. Tell us about this thing.
This rifle came into existence because of a dare and a bet, and I was told it can't be done. I'm a former military police officer in the Army, and of course everything we got was broken. But so we had to fix it, figure out why it would work. My dad was a Marine, and his prophecy in life, what he taught me and insisted, is that when I started making firearms, I had to do them right or never let them go. Do it once or forget it. So what I did, working with 3 different companies and getting the information I needed, we developed the big bore cartridge that's now king of the hill. This is a 475 short mag. This throws a 390 grain projectile at 2,500 feet per second. Develops 5,500 pounds of energy at the muzzle. You load it with 78 grains of H335 and achieves 65,000 PSI. I get a 99.6% powder burn out of this. After shooting this all day long at industry day, all I had to do was bore snake it to have it ready for here. Took the bolt out, but just nickel boron and just wiped it down. This uses an adjustable trigger in it from Elfman. It's the match adjustable trigger from 2 3/4 to 4.5 pounds.
And if you guys know, we just did the review of that trigger not that long ago, so we know exactly what that trigger feels like. We don't know yet what that trigger feels like when coupled to this.
I'll show you.
Hopefully we can figure it out.
I'll show you. I would put a magazine in it and let it chamber 1 round, but they kind of freak out when I do it, even though they're dummies.
Yeah, the dummy rounds, yeah.
Okay, but this round here is .589 at the shoulder, 577 at the neck, 504 at the casement. There's no parent cartridge. This was designed ground up based on the dimensions of the star chamber of the AR-10. That was my only constraint. So I wanted to keep it at overall at 2.85. So the hollow point, this one here, our bullets are made by Hawk. And when someone buys one of these rifles, they get 100 projectiles from Hawk. They get 100 cases from that are CNC machined. Go ahead. From RCC Brats. Each case is CNC machined on this. You get 10 reloads per case. It comes with a reloading die set and a factory print die.
And those are Lees, right?
They're made by Lee for us. They're the large series dies, the same dies that they make the 50B and G dies out of. And it also doesn't come to as a rifle in a box. We include a locking tactical case. MSRP on this rifle is $3,000.
Which is about what you're going to spend for a good quality AR that you built yourself out of premium components.
Now, a lot of people have said you have a Magnum cartridge, it's got to be a special bolt. That's one of the things I specifically wanted to get away from, because when you remove metal from something, you weaken it. I could have got a bolt from KAK, but the bolt thrust is so much on this, I would be breaking their bolt. So we stayed with the 308 bolt head. It's a severely rebated rim. And what that means for you is that you can take this rifle and rebarrel it in any AR-15 caliber that you want. If you know how to change a barrel, this rifle will shoot anything you want that an AR-10 will.
Well, there you go. So you got yourself a little bit of interchangeability on it. Gives you a little bit more to work with. Because when you're buying one rifle, just with the addition of a couple of barrels, you have a lot more triggers to choose from.
Comes with the ambidextrous technical charging handle. The company that we use on this, I'm not going to disclose, okay, but we use their charging handle because the spring's so stiff. Most people don't like it because it's a stiff spring. You have to have this. I got tired of being hit in the forehead with the charging handle every time it went on. No longer is a problem. Go ahead, feel that trigger. It's set at 2 3/4 pounds.
I'm going to squeeze this with my left hand so the camera can see it. Yeah,
breaks like glass.
Well, it's an Elfman trigger. How are you going to go wrong with that?
The Elfman trigger uses roller bearings, and one of the nice things about it, it's almost two-step. You have to release the trigger for it to re-engage. This won't do a slam fire. It won't keep going because the trigger will just stay back. You have to let it go for reset. If you have it locked and loaded and you drop the weapon, it will not go off. The trigger will only come up to a half position. You have to have the trigger depressed in order for it to go to full fire. That is why I built the rifle.
Now, we know that you guys have a little video you've been running about a very unfortunate piece of steel that's met its demise.
Oh, I've got a picture of it.
Oh, okay.
At Industry Day on Monday, I had people hitting 1,000 yards with this rifle who had never shot that distance before. And at the very end, I wanted to do some shooting myself. So I just loaded 3 rounds. I'm tired. Talked to hundreds of people.
Yeah, it's been a long couple of days.
So the first shot, I hit the 1,000-yard target with our scope that we make. The next shot, I hit the pig at 300, flipped it around. I asked the range master if I could shoot the 75. He said, go for it. Just treat it as an insurgent. I went from 300 to 75 with the sweep of the rifle, fired 1 round, and snapped the target off of its mount.
Yeah, we've done that at close range with certain things, but not at 75 yards.
Yes. So I have a picture, that I showed you of what happens to steel at 75 yards with a 475 mag.
And that's AR 500 plate steel at half-inch thick. So yeah, this thing has got some velocity. It's got some power to it.
Yeah, we're traveling 2,500 feet per second on a 390-degree bullet.
Well, I admire this one last time before we go. Just do everybody a favor. Tell us where everybody can get a look at these things, and what part of my kidney or liver do I need to donate to get one of these? Because
in order to receive a rifle, this one other thing that I haven't told you about, or two. This uses an adjustable gas block. So if you decide you want to shoot a lower velocity to save the shoulder, dial it in. This rifle will always cycle for you if you dial it into the cartridge that you do. It uses a standard AR-10 bolt carrier group, nothing special about it. A tungsten buffer to slow it down because of the bolt press. And the rifle comes in any color you want because all of our rifles are Cerakote. This pattern, grass camo pattern, is no additional charge.
this is a nice pattern.
Yeah, MSRP on this rifle, before shipping, is $3,000, and it includes everything that I told you. The only option is what color you want it.
Well, it's unlike Henry Ford, where you said you could have any color you want so long as it's black. You're giving everybody some options. Now, where can they check these options out?
Well, what you would do is go to our website, bishopammunition.com, and then you would go ahead, make an account, and you can order directly from us. We require 50% down. We build the rifle. When the rifle's ready to be delivered, we take the other half of it and we ship it to your FFL for the transfer. So it goes out of my book to their book, out of their book to you.
So there you go. Now, everybody knows about the Liberty First calendar contest, which you should have already bought a ticket to. If you didn't buy one, don't be an ass. But when we do our year-long calendar, I kind of think we might want to be giving away a couple of these. So if you want to see us do a test of one of these, buy some calendars so I can afford to buy one of these for the L1F so we can get it to the range and do some firing. Because I think by next year we're going to want to have one of these as our grand prize. Marisa, thank you so very much. You guys are doing fantastic work with this. Unbelievable products. You guys got to see this stuff to believe it. So,
thank you.
You guys be safe, shoot straight.
Face in the sea.